Okay, so basically, I consider myself to be really good at the Arkham games, right? So I decided to challenge myself and try to beat every single one without taking any damage. If I take damage, I have to restart from the previous checkpoint. But you're not here for the preamble, you're here for some pro Batman action, so let's get on with the video. So by the way, I'm playing on the hardest difficulty because I hate myself, apparently. This means the enemies don't have counter icons, and oh boy, that contributed a lot to the total restart count. Our story begins on a dark, rainy night. Batman has captured the Joker, but he gave up too easily, so he's decided to escort him. Surprise! It was all part of Joker's plan. He breaks free and starts running loose. The first thugs offered no challenge to my pro gamer moves. Now quickly, go after her. Oh. I think I put it best myself in the moment when recording the gameplay. The first of many. Oh no. What have I got myself into? While chasing down the Joker, we come across Victor Zsasz, the deadly serial killer, and he has a hostage. This is easily solved by non-lethally destroying both his spine and his face. Now comes the point in the game where we face the deadliest enemy yet, which I like to call the big boys. And he's died of a heart attack. Perfect. Joker manages to escape our grasp once again. It is at this point we discover that our good old pal Commissioner Gordon has been kidnapped by a corrupt guard and must be tracked down. Fortunately, this guy's a friggin' alcoholic or something, so we could track the vapors in the air using science. The trail leads to this room, the game's first stealthy bit. After effortlessly permanently knocking out the guys in this room, we find the guard's body, so it's a dead end. Fortunately, the exit is right there, so the search for Gordon can continue. But the search can wait! The Batmobile is under attack, which clearly takes precedence over an actual human life. After dealing out sweet justice to the miscreants who think they can lay a finger on the Batmobile, would you look at that? How convenient. Gordon's pipe is right there on the ground, which allows us to track him. But he's behind like an electric fence or something, and I guess we can't just walk through it, so we've got to find another way in. Whoa. Stop right there. Is that a conveniently placed destructible wall on the roof? How handy. In true Arkham style, we sneak around in the vents until we find a doctor who's been taken hostage by some inmates. A liberal application of justice later, and the doctor is safe and sound. Well, his colleagues aren't, so I guess we should rescue them too. Once that's done, the elevator miraculously summons itself, depositing some more goons to take out. Now we can get in the elevator and go to the basement, where Scarecrow is for some reason. We inhale some of his fear toxin and have a hallucination, but it's nothing we can't handle. Next up, we finally find where Harley is keeping the Commissioner. And we managed to make it to her without much trouble, but this is where the pain truly begins. I mean, sure, I'd restarted a few times up to this point, but if only I knew. Bane. This boss fight took me an hour and a half of restarting. I feel like I need to put a compilation here, me being punched in the face, because I think it's funny, so here it is. Once Bane is finally defeated by being hit by the Batmobile into the Gotham Bay, you can all breathe a sigh of relief that the hardest part of the game is over. Right? In the space of this hour and a half, Harley managed to get away, but at least Gordon's safe now, managing to get away on a boat. Woohoo! During a quick stop at the Batcave to pick up the Batclaw, we also find out what Joker's doing on the island. Basically, he paid one of the scientists, Dr. Young, to create a better version of Venom the drug Bane uses, called Titan, when she wouldn't tell him the formula due to ethical concerns. A bit late, but okay. Joker made a plan to get inside the asylum so he could steal it for himself. With this new information in hand, it's time to go stop him. Next stop, Dr. Young's office. In the office, we find a handy fingerprint trail leading to this random book in the library. Hey look, it's the formula. Ah, let's destroy that. Alright people, let's wrap this up. We're done here. Wait a sec, the doctor still knows the formula, so I guess we should go rescue her. And she's been blown up by a safe. Unfortunately, Joker now has the formula somehow. The warden of the asylum has the code for the door, the labs in the gardens that could make the Titan. So of course he gets kidnapped. It's easy enough to, run across the entire map and rescue him. And also we get to lock up Harley, so win-win, I guess. With the code in hand, it's time to head on over to the botanical gardens. After fighting through, we finally reach the lab where we face 2 Titan thugs at the same time. Now you'd think this boss fight would be tougher than the Bane boss fight because it's basically 2 Banes, but really? It's honestly not, because you could just make them run into each other and punch themselves. Also, we now have the line launcher, so that's fun. Now the Joker has the formula, the only thing to do now is start creating an antidote. Luckily, Poison Ivy, with absolutely no prompting, decides to help and tells us about some spores that can help. But of course, they're in the Killer Croc infested sewers. On the way we have the 3rd and final Scarecrow encounter, which, much like the other 2, isn't difficult. It's just friggin' terrifying because it makes it look like your game is about to crash. Now, onto Croc's lair. Fortunately, I managed to get through this bit pretty easily, but if only I knew what was coming up next. So the Joker's now put Titan in the Arkham water supply in an attempt to turn every single inmate into like a person in his army, like his massive Titan army. So the only way to stop that is to go and disable some pumps. That's easy enough. But when you're making your way to the surface, the fun truly begins. Remember that Bane boss fight from earlier? Imagine that, but you also need to deal with a bunch more random guys at the same time. I restarted 150 times here. I honestly wish I was joking. It took me like 3 hours. But I finally managed to pull it off, and away I go. Then we get back to the gardens. Poison Ivy suddenly remembers that she's supposed to be a villain, so there's a boss fight. But it's actually pretty simple. You just need to jump around. Just keep throwing batarangs, avoid the guards, and all her attacks. With her defeated, there's only one place left to go. A big party, oh yeah. The next room with the 2 Titans and a bunch of guys should have been harder. Should have been twice as hard as the Bane boss fight. But actually, this only took 58 attempts, so it wasn't too bad. Anyway, next up, the final boss, a Titan-infused Joker. Using my supreme gamer prowess, I managed to complete the fight in only 13 attempts. And with an incredibly satisfying explosive punch to the face, Joker is defeated and the day is saved, thus concluding the challenge. I had to restart a grand total of 407 times, for those interested. And if you thought I was crazy for doing this challenge, just you wait. I plan to do every game in this series, except Origins Blackgate, because all my homies hate Origins Blackgate. So if you want to see those, subscribe to be notified when those go up. That being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, if you want to see the raw uncut footage from my gameplay, including some exclusive live commentary, which is frankly hilarious, and 3 hours of me fighting the same room with guys, check the description for a playlist where I'll put all my raw gameplay for the Arkham No Damage Challenge. Alright, bye for real this time.